We're going to be taking a drive around Nashville on Tennessee 155. Come on, let's go. Alright everyone, today we're going to be doing Nashville's official loop, Tennessee Highway 155. Tennessee 155 is an odd beltway highway, as the northern half is a complete full access freeway, while the southern half consists of a at-grade boulevard and a limited access freeway. I think that the northern half should just become an interstate, while the southern half could just be left as Tennessee 155. The Tennessee 155 also goes by some pretty cool places like the Grand Ole Opry and the Nashville International Airport. So let us get started with Tennessee 155. But first, you're watching The TheDerpHog, where I make highways content on all sorts of different topics. If you've been enjoying it, be sure to hit that like button. And if you've been really enjoying it, be sure to smash that subscribe button so you're notified on all future videos. And if you really want to help out the channel, become a member today, where you get custom cool emojis, early access to future videos, along with one free extra request per month. And if you don't want to become a member, you can always just pay $3 for a intersection request in future videos. Those highways will be listed down in the description below, and I'll make sure to shout you out when that video releases. So let's get on with the highway. As you can see here, this is the map of Tennessee Highway 155 as it makes a full complete loop around the city of Nashville, with the red part being the freeway and the blue part being the limited access highway, and the yellow being the at-grade boulevard. So with that, I'm going clockwise around Nashville. So we begin here at the US Highway 31 junction, where we can see that 31 is being signed for Franklin Road. I mean, that's okay for going northbound because that will take you into downtown, but southbound should just be signed for Franklin. And we can see that Tennessee 155 here is in its secondary form and is being signed for Thompson Lane here. Here we meet with US 41 alternate and 31 alternate here at this random junction. And this is where Tennessee 155 becomes a limited access freeway here at Interstate 24, which is getting great control cities. Here we meet with US 41 and 70S as they're getting signed for Murfreesboro Road. And we also get an exit for the Nashville International Airport cell phone lot here, strangely. And here we meet one of the exits to the Nashville International Airport, Airways Boulevard. And now we're meeting with Interstate 40, and this is where we become a controlled access highway or a freeway. And we can see that 40 is also getting good control cities and will also take you over to the airport. Here we meet with US Highway 70 getting signed for Lebanon Pike and Donaldson. I do not like that Donaldson on there. That's just a neighborhood here in the Nashville area. That should either be like Green Hill or Mount Juliet or Lebanon itself, not Donaldson, please. Here on Tennessee 155, we actually passed by this cool looking water park here. And then here is the exit for the Opryland Hotel Convention Center, so if you need to visit the Opryland, here's the exit for you. And then after crossing over the Cumberland River, we'll meet with US 31E here, and we're going to have a short concurrency with it until exit 15. And here is where US 31E splits off from Tennessee 155, as it also meeting Interstate 65 at exit 15. And then for 65 southbound, you'll take exit 16, which is coming up soon. And we at the exit 16, we also meet 31W and US Highway 41, and they're just getting signed for the Dickerson Pike. And a couple miles up the road, we're now meeting Interstate 24 once again, getting signed for Nashville and Clarksville. I mean, you could throw Paducah on there as well. I mean, yes, Clarksville is a pretty big city in northwestern Tennessee, but I also like to see maybe like Paducah or St. Louis on there too, because people taking 24 at this point is heading up towards the Midwest, so probably some Midwest city. Here we meet with US Highway 431, and we get a pretty cool scenic view at this exit, so that's pretty awesome. Here we meet with 41 alternate this time, as it's also going to head up towards Clarksville. And here we meet with Interstate 40, and this is the end of the freeway section, as Tennessee 155 is going to be turning back into a at-grade boulevard. And right away we meet with US Highway 70 here at the stoplight intersection. And this is where we meet 70S here. And this is where Tennessee 155 actually go through a neighborhood here, strangely. And this is where we meet US Highway 431 once again, and this time there is no signage here at the 431 junction. And then we end right back where we started at the US Highway 31 junction, where Tennessee 155 is still its secondary form. So we're going to be turning around and going counterclockwise on Tennessee 155. So we begin here at the 31 junction, where you can see that US 31 is just being signed for Franklin Road. Here we meet with US Highway 431 once again, and like last time, we do not have any signage for it at all. Here we meet with US Highway 70S here. And here we get a reassurance shield, and we can see that Tennessee 155 is in its secondary form instead of a primary state highway form. And always up the road, we're now meeting with US 70 proper, and we're going to be meeting Interstate 40 like immediately right after that. And here we do meet Interstate 40, and it gets good control cities because at least TDOT's good with interstates. Too bad they can't be good with US highways or state highways as well. And after becoming a freeway once again, our first major exit is Tennessee Highway 12 for Ashland City. And here we meet with 41 alternate once again, which is being signed for Clarksville Pike. And looks like this direction is just one exit instead of two. Here we meet with US Highway 431, also getting a Kentucky treatment here. Here we meet with Interstate 24, and we can see that instead of a Tennessee 155 pull-through, we just get the mention of the next exit, which is coming up in half a mile. It looks like there's plenty of room to put up a Tennessee 155 pull-through. Just move those three signs over to the right and put up a pull-through, TDOT. Why did you build such a big gantry and have so much space left over? Here we meet with Interstate 65 and US 31 and 41 once again. Here we meet with US Highway 31E, and we actually saw this portion in the 31 series if you want to check that out in the top right corner here. And here's where 31E splits off from Tennessee 155, as it's going to be heading towards Madison, which once again is another neighborhood. Just do Gallatin, please. Here we meet the Opryland Hotel Convention Center exit once again, and we can see that we're also going to have an exit that will take you to the Opryland itself soon. In fact, Tennessee 155 actually passes by the Grand Ole Opry building, so you can see it from the freeway. Here we meet with US Highway 70, just getting the same stuff that we saw going clockwise. And here we meet with Interstate 40 once again, and this is where Tennessee 155 will turn into a limited access freeway. And here we have the exit for Airways Boulevard once again, this time coming up in a quarter of a mile. And a ways down the road we meet with US Highway 41 and 70S, and it looks like that this direction there is no mention of the Nashville International Airport cell phone lot. Strange. And here we meet with Interstate 24, and this is where we become a at-grade boulevard once again. And here we pass by US 31A and 41A, and I couldn't really get a good shot of the junction, so I'm just showing this park here in front of the junction. Also, there is no signage, sadly. Man, TDOT is very terrible at the signage along this portion of Tennessee 155. Where Tennessee 155 goes underneath a rail yard here, and we get a pretty cool looking tunnel. And we end right back where we started at the US Highway 31 junction. So with that, we end Tennessee Highway 155 and we move on to the places I'll go. So these are all the places that I visit if I ever was on any portion of Tennessee 155. I like to visit the Grand Ole Opry along with its convention center. And I would like to visit the mall at Green Hills, just because Green Hills is mentioned. And then Coleman Park Community Center. And I'd visit a couple of more parks along the highway, and then also some various restaurants and shops. And then especially the town of Green Hill itself on the eastern side of Nashville. So that ends Tennessee 155. Thank you all so much for watching this short episode on Tennessee Highway 155. I hope you got to learn a little bit more about this loop around the city of Nashville. And if you've ever been on this loop, please tell me your experience. I'd like to experience it someday. It looks pretty wacky for a loop itself. So with that, here are my next few highways. If you have any intersection requests for any of these upcoming highways, please let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to shout you out once these highways release. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next week as we head to US 219. Bye!